Welcome back to my somehow makeshift laboratory. And I did say I was going to return back to do some more of the flooring because sometimes I might say I was going to do it off camera, but I think it's a lot better for me just to do it in real time. And I've also added the first person mod so we could be a lot more immersed than before. Instead of me just guiding Steve, I'm actually in the game. And I've also added the mod which is called Knee Oculus, which it's kind of like Oculus, but it's for NeoForge. And I didn't like this. I'm trying to figure out like what shaders I can go with that's lighter on my computer. But okay, the song kind of just stopped abnormally right there. Oh, okay. I don't like this. No, I don't like it. How about I like vanilla? How does that work? Right now I'm just doing a lot of shader tests. This one don't work. So the only one that I see that works is deluxe shaders. So I might have to maybe like downgrade the quality. Maybe just put it in medium. What does medium look like? I'll say as long as everything runs, I'm supposed to be fine. Yeah, you can see some of the shading, but I think what's important is the immersion. So what we're supposed to be doing is continuing the makeshift lab, but I know the one of the I think Beast said, is it Best Loyalist? Yeah, Best Loyalist. He said something about he built a laboratory or coordinates for me to build my other laboratory. But I'm trying to figure out, like, do I really want to build another lab to connect to his other one? Well, I already, like, built something, like, of my own. But he says later on I might have to try to migrate everything. But I'm not sure if this is going to be, like, a lot of work for me. And when I logged into, I also read this. It says, "Key, please help. Charge the back tanks. This is your payment suit." So they actually gave me like another full suit, but they want me to charge up theirs. It's kind of funny. You even got like some small ones. So this is technically mine. So at least we have a spare back tank and also an armor stand. Very thankful for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and just charge a few things up. And man, I really need to like try to lower down these shaders. I mean, I could probably put it at 5 just to keep it safe. Like, I'm not really doing too crazy stuff. Unless Create kind of makes things seem laggier. I think that might be the case. So that would mean I would have to make some more vertical gear boxes. And also gotta cut down some trees. It does feel weird just to turn down the resolution, or not resolution, turn down the render distance completely. And I am the only one in this world, or in this simulation. Because I think my goal is try to see like what else I can do. Because I know it's very limited on what can I do around here. But I think so far I'm like, I don't know. I could be the only person that's doing Create while they see me with back tanks and helmets. But it also makes me wonder too, how did they know I had back tanks? They must have checked my chest. Interesting. Intriguing. Very intriguing. So let me just make a few more because I'm a nice person. At least they didn't take anything out of my chest, but I might have to check because I know I still have some diamonds. I worked hard for those diamonds because those mobs, they're genuinely unfair. So I would have to add maybe like some more space, or this little spot here. I might have turned this sideways. Let me check about the wrench. So to make the wrench, all I just need is some gold sheets cogwheel. Oh yeah, I think I should go ahead and make that just to make it a bit easier. But I can't believe I have to like prepare myself to move to like another location. But again, I have to think about if I really want to move to another location just to continue. Because that's like me starting over, leaving up all this stuff that I just built behind. And and this area here would just be a very empty area unless I think Pear probably makes use of this area, but I don't think he would, since he kind of has like his own classifications as like a underwater specimen, I can't say the word, specimen. So I don't know how that's gonna work, but just gotta improvise. So let me just use this mechanical press and just make 3 golden sheets. I think I can just turn on my mic in game so I can just speak out loud, let my thoughts speak. So now that we have is a wrench, now we can now interact with create easily instead of me using my iron pickaxe and axes just to interact with the tools around me. So if I want to use verticals, I can turn them into okay. I'm trying to see if I can like turn them around. Sorry for my raspy voice too, because I've also eaten dinner. So yeah, I do have a little bit of a raspy voice. But once I charge up their stuff, then I'm fine. So let me just sleep in my bed. I might move the bed indoors so I don't get shot down by anything. So just place my bed right here. And I think they could have just only gave me their back tanks, but I think this is fine. Yeah, just give them their back tanks. And there we go. So let me just, man, they're so small. Like, sheesh, these stands are so small. I'm trying to understand the science behind this. Like, how do they do this? But it's quite adorable. I'm trying to click on their head. And this one, there we go. So I can just give these little armor stands, free armor stands. I gotta give them a chest, and I may have to give them a message, unlike the chest. So let me just do this. So they have their helmets, boots, and just gotta charge these up. Because again, I can still be helpful. I don't mind helping people, but you still gotta ask for permission. And I think I remember last time I I actually took some of their iron, or somebody's iron, and I didn't ask for permission. So I would say that it was a humbling experience. So I had to try to learn from that. And I think I can also just make water wheels, and I could just add big cog and small cog and just let it, charge these things up really fast. But I think I'm just going to do it slow and steadily. But ever since Loyal actually sent that message on Discord, I have to try to improvise here, because he's kind of just saying to me, this area here is going to be temporary. It's not going to be a permanent spot. But I mean, I'm fine with migrating, but it's sort of like I have to move like everything that I have. And plus I'm trying to see, god damn, zombie. Give me a heart attack. it's sort of like how I'm going to carry this stuff around, because I got to carry, like, you know, a lot of items. Do we have backpacks in this? So let me see, backpack. So there's only back tanks. Let me just type storage. So we have, like, I want portable storage. Something portable. Portable teleport orb. Right click and own pet to cycle teleportation distance. Interesting. But I'm trying to find something what I can use to, like, transport items. You know, I can take them in my inventory and carry them around. I have indigestion. I wish there was, like, some sort of, like, bag, like a bag I can carry, just to carry all my stuff. Food, fluids. Seems like I'm actually or genuinely have to figure out a way to move all this stuff out, because I really can't, like, it's like I gotta pick everything up and then carry it or something. Like, we don't have the carry-on mod or anything like that. We don't even have dollies. Like, we even have a dolly. That'll definitely be painful, but at least I could still carry things around. But, man, it's so unfortunate. I can't even go to the nether. Like, I genuinely can't go to the nether, because it's locked behind something, and we already know what it is. But that's kind of like limiting what I'm capable of doing now, other than trying to build something. But I mean, I could build things. It's just, yeah. Okay, stuff in chest. And I'm just gonna type here and just be like, thanks for transaction. So now all we gotta do is wait for those tanks to charge up, because I'm really trying to figure out, like, what can I do for this playthrough or this run, because it's sort of like I'm genuinely hitting a wall, because I can't make an elevator. The only thing I could do is continue my crops, because if I can actually make brass, that will definitely be helpful. But it kind of locks create behind a wall where I can't even use it, because I'm a scientist, and scientist has that tendency to explore. When you cut exploration out, it's a lot harder to explore and be curious. It feels like I'm stuck in a cage. Like I can't, like, explore a little. I mean, it can be a humbling experience. So let me try to change the... I'm not sure if it's really, like, the shader packs that's making it feel this way. Like, I mean, I love the aesthetic, but the problem is it just feels too much like it's like kind of, because I think create is probably the cause of it. Just have to accept the reality. But I'm thinking, I don't know, either just mine some more stuff until we have, like, tons of diamonds and iron and whatever. We can't go to the nether. So I think the only thing I can think of doing is using the big cogs and the small cogs and make make some smeltery system. That's probably the only thing I can do. Because I'm genuinely just stuck in a reality where it's like, it's very limited right now. Like, I can't, like, expand out like I normally would. Like, ever since he introduced building my lab in another location, it definitely hit like a bottleneck in my mind. So let me just mine whatever this is, and then I could probably put the smeltery right here. But that'll also mean I have to get a bucket of lava, make an encased fan, and plus I'm not sure if do I have to like increase the rotational force just to make it move faster so it can activate. Because once I do that, and then I can possibly make chutes, I can maybe make pipes to maybe like for fluids. But again, I may also have to look at the reality of like what I can possibly do for now, because it is very slow paced, because I gotta fall by their pacing. There's nothing wrong with it, but whenever my mind kind of just expands out naturally, it tends to go deeper and deeper. But I do stop around the nether, and I don't try to go to the end or anything. But since I'm literally just existing, because that's literally, I'm just gonna say this, that's my lore in this, is mostly just to exist. But it's like existing meaning just being myself. It's a lot easier to be yourself than just try to play a part that you're this thing or that thing. Because I don't really care about being the main character or anything like that. I'm just having genuine curiosity just to let the game exist. Just breathe. And I would just say, last time, I actually tried doing it. Like, I was just going in the nether, getting the blaze burner. I was about to go look for the nether fortress to get a blaze, to at least just get brass, because I'm not gonna, like, go crazy. I'm just gonna, like, just stay methodological and just continue with my, my curiosity, because mostly it's just machines. Like, I'm not trying to beat the game, but I'm going at the slowest pace that I can possibly can. But if it's too much, then I guess my internal pacing might be too fast for them, because I just play at my own speed. Like, it's not fast, but at least it's enough for me to process everything in real time. I might have to cover this out because, again, I don't know if I'm actually going to be expanding or anything, because I might move to a different location. Because he did say later where if I move this, like my makeshift laboratory across from his, he did say he was trying to build like a big, like facility, but I would say it's for mostly lore purposes. I did not know there was a creeper right here. I did not notice there was a creeper. I did not notice that. I was just minding my business and I just heard a creeper. Great. So the creeper destroyed one of my wheels. Okay. So we gotta build... Oh, never mind. Luckily the wheels do come back, but I was not expecting a creeper to show up. That's okay. What's going on here? Alright. Alright, let me just break this. So, there are creepers in this. I'm just gonna say, this one might be, I'll say this might be a, temporary, location. Because you already see how creepers and stuff is here. It's like I wanted to feel like this is like a permanent location, but it doesn't feel too permanent once you're trying to you're forced to migrate to like a different location. So let me just get all these wheels, place them down. Why does it feel like I gotta move the water? Do this. Great. So the water is the problem. So I guess this is the reality, huh? Trying to place down torches and everything so mobs can't spawn. But yet they still spawn anyway. This is the reality, huh? The reality. So let me fix this. Because this is just running water. Alright, so... Okay, the water is still here, so if I try to break that... Because all I just wanted to do is just reset. And I can just... Can I click? There we go. So I would say, I'm probably just going to do it for now like this. But I can't believe there was a creeper in here. I did not notice there was like a creeper. There we go. So whenever you're trying to run create, make sure you add lights. Because I am using the Technomancer class, which kind of hides the creeper or anything that's lurking within create structures. I wish I can have some redstone lamps, but I can't make those. Because why? I can't go to the nether. So it quite limits to everything being mostly primitive. And a scientist, it doesn't study like something that's too primitive for too long. The mind kind of expands on its own. Like, I don't stay at stage 1. I actually move up to different stages naturally. It's kind of like trying to stop the mind from thinking, but the mind is designed to think. So it's quite a paradox when you think about it. I'm not sure if their back tanks are finished, but I'm definitely going to have to use the big wheel and the small wheel just to make it easy. Also, I did forget to shower because I was called in to cook dinner when I was about to do that. Guess it's part of the experience. Sometimes you're supposed to do one thing and then it ends up you're not doing the other thing. It happens. And sometimes this night vision does throw you off. Don't know if there's like a creeper nearby or a zombie. But good news is I am wearing diamond. I was thinking about wearing iron, just like my Greg Tech New Horizons experience, since I kind of just wear iron most of the time. Since iron is more cheaper and it's more stylish. While diamond, it's kind of just literally crystal that I'm wearing. But diamond can easily break. It's tough, but in a realistic sense, it's just valuable as a jewel. Not something you can wear on your body. Well, like a ring, but I mean, like I said, it's mostly for like stylish purposes. Like, I will look at iron as very tough. But I think Minecraft should add, like, steel. Because that is a misrepresentation of flint and steel. It's called flint and iron. So they might have either rechanged the name, because it's not steel. It's technically iron. Steel is more carbonated. So if they want to rechange it, I think they should, just to be consistent with their chemical elements. But I doubt anybody wants that to change, since it's going to cause confusion. They'd be like, oh, I need flint and iron. And they'd be like, that doesn't make sense. Flint and steel. Because they just know through memes. There is a mine shaft. Because this is like some strange mine shaft. And I just saw some smoke over there, which tells me the back tanks are finished. Because if there's like a big exhaust of smoke coming out of that, you know your back tanks are finished. So I can pull these out. And these are the finished product for their oxygen tanks. But since I don't have rotational forces to enhance the speed a little bit, I'm literally trapped with just slow and steady, which I'm completely fine by that. So now that they're finished, now I can continue on with my Smeltery. But again, I think this Smeltery might be temporary, because once I move my lab, I gotta move everything that I think is valuable. Because I know all this time that I've spent building or just breaking every block here felt meaningful. Like, I know it feels meaningful. But when you're forced to move out just because of lore-based reasons, it kind of conflicts with things. But this is what happens when you actually play a role play based experience. I'm not saying I don't like it. It's interesting. But even I, a scientist, tend to just think a bit differently. Like, I just think more so like how a normal person would think. Like, I don't really do acting because I'm not good at acting. And when you do acting, it kind of just uses up a lot of energy. Because when you act, it's like trying to put on a show, but for an invisible audience. But you're trying to understand what that audience is. Like, who are you performing for? Are you performing for a group of people? Are you performing for something just because you feel like you're not good enough? It could be many reasons, actually. But I have gotten over that fear when I start noticing that everybody, or most people on the internet, is kind of chasing the same feeling and the same formula, and they just can't be themselves. But I know some people will say they're still being themselves, but do they really mean it? Or are they just saying it just to make it seem like they are, but they're lying to themselves? Because people tend to lie to themselves when you're trying to question it. Sometimes you know, and sometimes you can sense the lie. But I'm just being real, because what I'm doing here, this is real life. To build whatever I'm building takes a lot of time. I have to break block by block by block by block. It may be tedious, but it's all part of the experience. You can't edit out life, and I keep saying it, because that's my philosophy. Life continues. You can't edit out life, but you can edit out life to a certain degree, but you can't edit it out completely. because it ruins the charm of what it's like to have a soul, or what it's like to have a feeling for it. And man, I'm sweaty. I think the reason why I'm sweaty because I probably ran those shaders. Man, I never realized shaders can actually cause a physical symptom of sweat just because I was just running them for about 10 minutes. Even the lightweight ones still perform the same way. They cause my body to sweat. Maybe because it's trying too hard to capture my attention, or my body's just processing the noise from the shaders. Because I don't mind playing without shaders, but I think shaders might come in handy depending on the context, or whatever I'm mentally feeling. And I might just choose even more lower ends, but again, I'm not sure if they're truly low end or they're just extra flare, just trying to blind my eyes just because there's just more things visually happening. So I'm just going to remove this cobble roof, but again, once I do move out of this location to build like a distant lab, probably with the blocks of what I've collected here, then the transformation would be something, but I'm actually having to physically build a tangible spot, which I have to do more building and more mining, which means I'm actually doing overwork or a lot of work just to have an area to do my research and for me to just have my own mind to just process. Because right now, I'm just processing my mind. I'm just doing this in real time. Like, all of this is real. I can't edit this out. I'm pretty sure they're going to want me to edit everything out. But even my mind, I have to stay true to it. You cannot script authenticity. That's important. You cannot script authenticity. I know after this, I'm definitely going to take a shower, and I may have to check into another mod, because there's so many mods to showcase on the internet. I already reviewed the Creepy Pasta Craft mod for 1.7.10, but I know I have this piece of paper over here, and I have to go check out the Cave Dweller mod, Sonnet.exe, Else Right Imitator mod, the Herobrine mod for 1.6.4, and possibly the Aether mod. I'm not sure if I want to review Aether 1 and 2 or just review like the original version. I mean, I just have a lot of things to do, and I also got to factor in Greg Tech. It's just a lot to juggle when you're constantly researching and learning new things. It's just a lot of things you can do and a lot of things to learn. And my back is so itchy because it's probably hot and I don't have any ventilation in this room because it's enclosed, and all you have is just soundproofing material and just walls around you and the computer that occasionally hums now and then. Like, that's what you truly have. What you truly have. I wish I could have my own place where I can have proper heating and cooling, but I don't have that. But I know I could install some fans in my room. But again, if I even install the fan, you'll just hear a lot of static sounds in the back. And I'm not sure that's going to like be more of a distraction than anything else. But I mean, it's entirely up to me. But if I put a fan like close to the doorway, you'll just hear the fan. And then you just be hearing the fan just going on and on. It would just be funny. But it, like, again, it would just be a distraction. Like a natural distraction. nuggets. I'm going to use this zinc just to make some more nuggets and make some more andesite alloys, because these are very crucial for most to create. Alright, so now I have to work on making the conveyors. So conveyor time. Wait, what? Or is it mechanical belt? It might be a mechanical belt. There we go. Okay, just 6 dried kelp. I think this is where I should cook use a smoker. Yeah. Time to make a smoker. I barely do culinary, but this is one way to do it. Just going to use 12, and I'm just going to use whatever burnable source I have. Can I use you? What is you used for? Shears? Well, wild cave carrots? I'm trying to figure out, like... Okay. String. So if I move these, string. So we have tons of string. Interesting. So we have tons of string. Interesting. Alright. So we gotta make the mechanical belts. Let me try checking out funnel. Alright, I know funnels are important, which requires dried kelp as well. Alright, trying to figure, like, what can I burn? I might as well just use some coal then. Coal. And cut down some more trees to make some gears. Look at this. This is starting to look a little bit nice. But unfortunately, we're going to have to relocate possibly soon. But right now, I'm just collecting what I can, making it to something out of this little location. And then once we migrate, then we already made the smeltery. And then I can move my nether portal, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be using my nether portal. And I don't even know if they already used the nether portal. Like, I wasn't even on here, but for them to, like, place those signs there, I don't know if they went to the nether already. Sometimes people may have the intention or the impulse to go there when they're not supposed to go there, because I wasn't told to go there. I mean, it happens. It genuinely happens. It's like some things you can and can't do. Alright, so I gotta go get some iron. Alright, so I need to go fetch some iron now. I really can't believe the bottom here is like the fastest way to actually get some very useful ores, because it's exposed. Everything is quite exposed down here. You can see gold, iron, diamonds, redstone, lapis, emeralds. I would say just variable of ore. But at the same time, we just can't do a lot. It's sort of like we just gotta process this. And I'm already getting shot by a skeleton, am I? Yep, he's in the water, but he's not gonna drown since he's immune to it, because he doesn't have lungs. Okay, so I might as well hop down here, get some iron. Alright, because all I just need is what? one for the encased fan. Then I gotta go out and get some lava, bring it back, and then I'm good to go. So we went, where is my blast furnace? Put you right next to here. About what the coal that I have remaining. I know, this is like sacrificing my other things, but this is the only way I can progress in these type of situations. So all I gotta do is just place down my depot, or maybe just place right this, move it over, and then plant down my iron ingots, get 4 plates. That means 4 plates, 1 andesite alloy, and then begin crafting the encased fan. Alright, that's finished. There's a creeper outside. Get away. Wait, there's 2 creepers. It makes me want to think about patching the bottom down. Like, genuinely to patch the bottom. Because there's just too many creepers coming out the hole. A creeper infestation. Alright, so we have the propeller. Now let's strip this log. And then make the encased fan. There we go. Now we can blow the lava. But the problem would be is to try to see how can it be projected. And we gotta use gears, but again, this is going to be very slow because that's the problem. And that's the reality we're dealing with. Because since we can't like use rotationals, I never tried using like very slow shafts that barely produce enough energy. But I will have to try for science. Let's see. So I don't know how much it needs, but let's see. Okay, so if we do it this way, so that can cover 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll say roughly 4 blocks. That can cover roughly 4 blocks. However, if we try to add the small cogwheels and the big cogwheels, then it should speed up a little more efficiently. So let me just add the large ones. And then we just add a small one and then a large one. Just got to see the signs behind this. If we do this, this one should be a bit faster. But I don't know. So I do this. No. I'm not sure if it's like small and then big, or is it big then small? Because it's moving very slow. So I might have to try it with a large one. Because maybe it works with a large one. Because you have a large one, see it's a little bit faster. Then you have a small one. And then put this one there. Then you have, okay. It's building speed. This is literally the way of how I do it. It's like make it faster like this way. So now that has more rotational speed based on the shifting of the gears. And then I could make another gear shaft and like might put down like more gearboxes and then just make the belt go this way, because since it has more speed, like roughly more speed now, sometimes we gotta do the science behind all this. That makes it even faster. There we go. Then if I put the gearbox here and put my encased fan in, there we go. So it can blow even further. Instead of 4, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll say roughly, I'm just going to be safe here, 7 blocks. And I think 7 blocks is probably a good amount to start with. Yeah, I think 7 blocks is good. Because all we have to do is put our mechanical belt in. Because we only wanted to go down 4 blocks. I mean 7 blocks. Sometimes I get the numbers confused. So we take this out. Then we can begin making the belts. I'll say this is a good progress journey. Oh, we don't have no more cake anymore. Don't worry, I think somebody else might bring another cake. Alright, that, and then I'm going to make 1 funnel. There we go. Because we're going to use it for inputting and outputting material. Plus I still have to figure out putting the, let's see. Okay. Because I still know that somehow, I know because I have to, because it's pointing this way, but we also wanted to, like, cook the items too. Like, I know it has to be, like, at a particular level. Like, I know it's about levels and stuff like that. Let's see. No. Because if I put it right here, it's going this way, and I don't want it to go that way, because that would mean it's going to come up this way. I want to go forward. So we got to keep this way. So that would be this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because that's how far it can go. Then we add the mechanical belt. Like this. And then we have kelp drive. And then we have to put a, then we gotta put a, then we have to put a, the encased fan in the back of here or within this wall, but we don't want this to burn anything though, because I done this multiple times. Like, you don't want the belt to burn, but you want the lava to flow straight down here. It means I have to actually plant the lava in here. But it's so unfortunate that I actually have to I have to actually migrate all my stuff to a different location. So that means the adaptability is going to be very strange on the recording. Very strange. But it's all part of the experience, unfortunately. So the encased fan can only be outputted from the back. So that would mean the encased fan would only blow from this point, because if you do that, that is quite strange, but it would make sense because it's blowing, but it's also blowing from the top, and I don't know if it's going to cook things from the top though. That's kind of like the issue here. It just feels strange. It just feels strange. But I have to continue and keep going because I don't want to give up. Because we're going to do this for science. We're going to figure this out. Even though it might be difficult or complicated, but even when you're unsure about something, still roll with it. All right, 2 gearboxes. Right. So that would mean the gears would go upwards. Technically, that means it would go upwards then, unless I have to actually put it in a particular way. So let me see. So if I do it like this, that would mean the gear will go like that. And then if I put it like this, I'll still have to make like another one. Yep. Yeah, we're definitely going to make this work. And I got to make some more andesite casings. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and try this science. All right, so if we use just the shaft and we do this, okay. See, I can't tell if it's like, okay, so I'll say it's pulling us in. Yeah, so I'll say we don't want it to pull. So that would mean I will have to just put, it will have to be like a strange combination. All right, so if we do it this way, it pushes us away. See, that's what we want, but I can't tell if it's like going to cook everything on this belt here. That's kind of the issue now. I can't tell if it's cooking on the belt, but you can see how far the smoke can only travel. And I think it only travels to like right here. So I would have to like break this, add that, and then just make it closer. But it should be able to cook though, since it's like right in that location or at that point. And I could get some glass because I think I'm very content with what I have. Because when we do move to the different location, it's gonna just be more sand, which is fine. Frame the glass. I don't know if I want to use frame glass since, again, this is going to be mostly temporary. So I'm just going to just do it like this, where you can actually just see like some of the smelt items. Then we have to add a funnel to a chest just for it to input and output materials. But I'll say the way how this is all gonna go, it's all gonna go depending on the factors. So I had to do it like this. Yep, like this, and then I'm just gonna put a block here, and then do like that. This helps keep the lava like organized, so it can like when I place it in here, it just goes right in. It just makes it look clean. All right, so we're just gonna get a lava bucket. Yeah, it is a lot of work, a lot of planning, and a lot of thinking, but we'll make things work. Then we just got to make 2 chests, one for inputting and one for outputting. So we got 1 chest, 2 chests, and the funnel. And where's my wrench? There it is. All right, so now I can just, because I can just put on this very first spot right here. I can just shift just to do that. Change the mode. I think this was going to dump out every one, and then I can also just block some of these pots. So I guess the machines don't like burn or anything like that. Might have to give them andesite casings just to make it look a little cleaner. So let me just do this to make things look a little cleaner. Alright, so let me clean this up a bit. So let me add that. See, it just makes it look a little seamless, but nicely cleaned. There we go. And then when it gets inputted, it goes down, and then I add a like a list just for it to go in. Wait a minute. I don't think this one has filters, so I think that's probably the issue. I think I might have come across a problem, I think. But I'm just going to go ahead and get a lava bucket and just see like what happens. Because this is still a work in progress for a little smeltery instead of me depending on blast furnaces and furnaces. So let me just go up here and get some lava. I would say I'm still pretty proud that I actually tend to clear out that room a bit and added a smeltery system. But I know some people may want to use it, but since I don't have brass, which is a very important component to even make smart filters, so I can actually smartly filter things out and it can smelt stacks instead of just one by one, it would be easier. So I'm pretty much stuck in the primitive function currently because restrictions to the nether, and I just have to just deal with the absurdity of just having to wait just because of reasons. So I have to walk out and get the lava. But at least I'm actually doing something that looks like progress. At least I'm not losing my mind too much. And I wish shaders weren't as, very rough to render, but I might have to find even more lower ends or what. Because I know we have other shaders, but I'm just saying the settings are just very rough in a sense. Like, I love Lux very much, but you can see how hard it is just to get near areas where it gets a little heavier. Like once you start adding create and such, it kind of reminds me of Greg Tech New Horizons a little bit, where it's like you can have shaders on, but sometimes it can take a toll on your computer, which it tends to get a little hot, and then you start to sweat in real life, and it's like you have to try to compete against like the cooling like in real time, and also the cooling for your computer. It's like two things happening at once. But these shaders are nice, unless I'm just a little bit exhausted, or this bright effect is just so much that I really need to turn off the blooming effect. I wish I can borrow some of my settings from the other Lux versions, but I can't. So let me go down here. Kind of reminds me of Bedrock or Xbox a little bit. So let's just go down here, all the way down here. And the good news is I don't have to do any editing whatsoever, since this is 100% the experience. So now that we've done that, don't mind the frame rates. It's all part of the experience. We're just going to walk over here and place the lava down. And when we do that, now we got ourselves something that can actually cook things. And the reason why I add this little block here so we don't get burnt, or if somebody somehow comes in and tries to interact with it, they don't accidentally get burnt or get cooked by the machine. Because that's like, you know, a hazard. And I don't want people to get hurt from a hazard, but sometimes their curiosity gets the better of them and they just, you know, get too close. If you know, like the saying, you know, don't get too close to the sun. Kind of like that reason. But I have to see how these things react and how they operate. So if I put this in here. Okay, so it does work, but ever since that, ever since this funnel kind of just keeps taking things in, it does become a problem. So I'm not sure if I have to like use hoppers or something. I don't know. Or I probably have to manually pick them up, because sometimes this stuff may have to be manually picked up. So let me see. So I had to pick you up. So that would mean if I want to use this contraption, I'll have to just literally just put like a safety label or something behind it. So yeah, so when you do it like this, this is what happens. I know that's not going to cook to anything. So we put our raw zinc in here. You can see that we have our raw zinc. It's going to take like a few minutes to cook. And then once we do that, we have processing by particle. And this is what I mean. It's part of the experience, but yet it's still quite messy without us having smart filters. So this would still be a rough thing to do. But we actually have a functional smeltery that works. At least I've accomplished something versus say we couldn't. And I think for raw copper, I don't know if I really can smelt anything here, since I have to stand by the chest just to do it. It just creates more it just creates more manual labor, since I really can't do anything automated completely. But we haven't moved away from we haven't even moved into automation other than just smelting. But I think once we make the arms, mechanical arms, it's definitely going to be 100% automated, where I don't even have to actually like put too much effort into things. I can just put it together and it just works. And I think I might be able to like record this for maybe for an hour and 30 minutes just to like, I guess, do this flooring, because again, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this room, since if I do have to move to a different location, then that's the reality. Then I gotta actually move to that location with all my stuff. Then I gotta redo the whole process of the smeltery. But I think the good thing would be is I might be able to go to the nether possibly. But I don't know. Because I think once they announce it, then I can go there. Alright, so let me just place down this polished deep slate. Alright. Then I gotta do this little half here. And I think I should also try to spread it where I could also make some faster little charging stations for, I guess, back tanks, if anybody wants to charge it up. But it won't be as fast since I don't have the speed controllers or the rotational forces. So it will still be slow, but it would be a little bit suboptimal. Let me just place more of this polished deep slate down. I think I like polished deep slate. I think when it's used in a context of like smeltery reasons, like it just reminds me of smeltery. Like this is a room mostly for smeltery or processing ore. All right. So now that we've done the flooring, so what's next? So since we've done the flooring, now we can try to make some more of these andesite casings and make some gear shafts, and then just make a little, I would say like a few, probably make like a few charging stations. And I know somebody's sending me a message too. It might be Legacy, or it might be one of my friends. But let me check. Yep, it's Legacy. Oh, it's raining outside. Go to sleep. Just make a few more. And then I think I'll be complete. Definitely moving all my stuff inwards to clean it up a bit. But at least my little my little makeshift lab or temporary area looks a little nicer. Because once, because like, I was to say, once we like move to a different location, that's that. We want to use our wrench to pick this up. So all we just need is how many? And I'm itchy. I'm definitely going to take a shower. Alright, so all we got to do is make like one, I will say 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll probably say like at least 4. I would say enough to maximize like 3 charging ports. That's probably like fair enough. 9. Because if I do that, that's 4, 8, 12. Okay, that should be enough to make at least 4. And then I can begin putting them together like this. And then for the chargers, I gotta place it like this. And this is where your tanks go. But you gotta put it beneath just for it to work. Alright, so let's put this in there. I'll probably do a better job or improving my storage. But you can see that we did what we did. So we can charge this one up. And the other one, I know I have like spares. Alright. There we go. So now we only have, so it has like 128 units. So that means it's slightly faster. And I might go under the water just to see what's down there. And then I might conclude this playthrough. Because there's still a lot more things to do when you're playing on an SMP. But I wish I can tell, like, where's the charging limit on this. And I did forget to add some waypoint maps, or not waypoint maps, waypoint mods, journey maps, just to find things a little bit easier, so it can be easy for the experience. Can I use a wrench? Oh yeah, I can use a wrench to do that. That's cool. So if I use a wrench, I can actually see like how much pressure is being stored. So let me just take this off, put this on. There we go. So now all we got to do is just go underwater and maybe collect some more kelp, because I might try to grow my own kelp elsewhere if it's necessary. So let's go underneath this water. The water is so dark down here, by the way. Like with these shaders, it just makes things very immersive down here. Like we're in a bottom of a pool. Kind of cool. Some diamonds. Trying to see if there's like anything else down here. Some of the glow squids kind of vanished. Interesting. Okay, what ore is this? Let's see. Ooh, I know what this is. Gold. That's gold. So we have seed gold, naturally spawned gold down here. But the only way you can get that gold is by using crushing wheels. But we don't have any crushing wheels because we don't have brass. And the only way to get brass is going to the nether. It's just kind of funny how everything just points towards the nether. Because that's the reality. But I'm quite surprised that this helmet and everything, the oxygen supply, lasts for literally 15 minutes in real time, which is quite intriguing. Alright, there's a drown down here. As long as they don't have a trident, I'm fine. Oh, there's an axolotl down here. Interesting. It's a little bit hard to just travel on these blocks while underwater, because there's like less. It's like it's like the feedback of movement is very slippery. Like I would say it's like less friction or something. Yeah, less friction. Only have 7 minutes, but in my recording, I only have what, 4 minutes. So I think it's time for me to return back to the surface. I think that was a successful diving experience. And I know that tree isn't fully cut down. I'll probably have to cut down that cherry blossom so I can, so you know, the leaves can just fall down and just naturally decay. Because I don't want this tree to suffer any longer than what it is. There we go. Alright. So now that we have done all of that, I can now put this stuff in the chest. Also, I gotta listen because I don't know if there's like a mob that might come up behind me and then start causing chaos and then destroy everything that I just spent hours in and make me very irritated. Alright, so let me just go ahead and sleep in the bed to lock in the moment. And let me put my copper bank tank on the charger, or on the underneath one of these tanks and under these tubes and stuff. I forgot what they're called, gearboxes. I mean, I've been working with a lot of things. But yeah, I think that is going to conclude for this playthrough. And we have been recording for an hour and 28 minutes. And yeah, so what we have did was make a smeltery and a slightly charging station with the power of increasing our speed from the large wheels. So now we can output a lot more energy just by making them faster. But again, I don't think I'm going to do any more expanding on this area, because if I tend to have to move my laboratory or this air, I would say laboratory, to like another location, then I would have to do that, because this is kind of like a start. But ever since he said, let's make another lab, I might as well just make another lab, because I gotta fit a narrative in some sense, or maybe have more ways to explore the world. I think I'm just gonna mentally frame it as more ways to explore instead of just being stuck down in the depths near the water. But if you guys enjoy the experience, then I'm very grateful. But until then, I'll see you guys next time with another experience, and we'll be back to probably doing some more things on the Monulite SMP. So, see you guys soon and later, and take care. Goodbye.